Have you ever found yourself hesitating before sharing a personal detail with your children? Perhaps it's a fleeting thought. Will this bring us closer or complicate things? As we grow older, our relationships with our children evolve. What was once simple, open sharing now requires a delicate balance. The truths we reveal with love can, at times, unintentionally disrupt harmony, leading to misunderstandings or even overstep boundaries. Take Margaret, for example. In her 60s, she enjoyed a close relationship with her daughter, Susan, often sharing everything from small joys to life's challenges. One day, during a casual coffee chat, Margaret mentioned a few health concerns, just minor aches and pains. Susan's concern was immediate, and her questions began to flow. Have you seen the doctor? Are you following up? Should I come with you? Initially, Margaret appreciated her daughter's care, but over time, Susan's daily check-ins and unsolicited advice began to feel overwhelming. Margaret, who had always valued her independence, felt as though it was slipping away. Margaret realized she needed to reset their dynamic. She began sharing updates in a way that reassured Susan without inviting over-involvement. Instead of detailing every ache, she would say, "I'm taking care of it and feeling better. Thank you for asking." This approach maintained transparency while reinforcing her self-reliance. It allowed Susan to relax and trust her mother's judgment, restoring the light-hearted, supportive conversations they both cherished. So, how can you find this balance? It begins with what I call preemptive communication, setting clear expectations before sensitive topics arise. For instance, you might say, "I'll always let you know if there's something serious, but I may not share every detail. It's important to me to handle some things on my own." Framing your independence as a source of strength reassures your children without alienating them. This principle applies to finances as well. Picture Eleanor, a retired teacher, who felt proud of the nest egg she'd carefully built over decades. One evening, she casually mentioned her savings during a family dinner. At first, her son praised her diligence, but soon the conversation shifted. Suggestions about investments turned into subtle requests. Help with a new car, contributions toward a grandchild's college fund. Eleanor, who had always seen her savings as a symbol of her freedom, began to feel a quiet pressure. Her hard-earned independence now felt like a shared resource. To regain control, Eleanor adopted a new approach. She chose not to disclose financial specifics, opting instead for phrases like, "I've planned ahead and feel secure." When faced with direct requests, she learned to set gentle but firm boundaries. "I'm glad you're planning for the future, but I've set aside my savings for specific goals." This allowed her to preserve her autonomy while encouraging her children to take responsibility for their own financial decisions. Balancing openness with boundaries doesn't mean avoiding tough conversations. It means guiding them. A helpful strategy is to tailor your communication style to each child's personality. For the overly worried, reassure them with confidence. "I've got this under control." For the self-reliant, share selectively, focusing on positive outcomes rather than struggles. This adaptive approach fosters trust and respect, ensuring that your relationship remains strong without sacrificing your personal space. Another key aspect of this balance is understanding that not every moment calls for complete honesty. Think of sharing as a bridge. It should connect, not burden. When discussing sensitive topics, consider these questions. Will this bring us closer? Is this something they need to know? If the answer is no, it may be wiser to keep certain details to yourself. Silence, when chosen thoughtfully, can be an act of care. Lastly, take time to reflect on the dynamics in your family and establish respectful boundaries before they're tested. A simple conversation, "I value my independence and I know you respect that," can pave the way for smoother interactions down the road. Remember, maintaining independence is not about secrecy. It's about preserving the freedom to live life on your own terms. As you navigate these delicate conversations, keep in mind that your wisdom and experience are gifts. Sharing them with intention ensures they are received with the love and respect they deserve. What do you think? Have you experienced moments where setting boundaries strengthened your relationships? Reflect on your approach to family communication and consider how these strategies might bring more harmony and peace into your life. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if this resonates, share this video with someone who might need these insights. Together, we can embrace a wiser way forward. Have you ever found yourself replaying a moment from your past, thinking, if only I had done things differently? It's natural to want to share these experiences with our children, hoping our lessons might spare them similar pain. But when is sharing wisdom a gift, and when does it become a burden? Sometimes, the way we frame these stories can make all the difference. Consider Dorothy, a retired nurse. She believed her hard-earned wisdom could guide her daughter, Julia. One evening, Dorothy shared a regret from her youth, thinking it would inspire Julia to make better choices. But instead of connection, Dorothy was met with an uneasy silence. "Mom," Julia finally said, "I didn't know you were capable of something like that." Dorothy realized that instead of fostering understanding, her story had unintentionally shifted how Julia saw her. What was meant to be a teaching moment left both feeling distanced. So how do we share lessons without unintentionally altering the lens through which our children see us? The key lies in reframing. Instead of centering a story on regret, focus on the growth that came from it. For example, instead of saying, "I made a mistake that cost me dearly," try, "I learned that trusting your instincts can save you a lot of heartache." This approach places emphasis on the wisdom gained, making it relatable and empowering for your child rather than overwhelming. Equally important is how we handle sharing our dreams. Dreams are deeply personal. They represent our aspirations and hopes for fulfillment. But not every dream needs to be shared, and not every person will understand their significance. Evelyn, a retired librarian, dreamed for years of taking an Alaskan cruise. It was her vision of adventure, a way to reconnect with herself after years of dedicating her life to others. One Thanksgiving, she shared this dream with her son and daughter-in-law, hoping for encouragement. Instead, her son laughed. "Mom, a cruise? At your age?" His wife added, "Wouldn't it be smarter to use that money for something practical?" Evelyn's heart sank. The dream that had fueled her spirit now felt diminished. That night, she resolved to keep her dreams her own, and she quietly began planning her trip. When she finally set sail, she discovered not just breathtaking landscapes, but a renewed sense of independence and joy. If you're unsure whether to share a dream, start by gauging your child's receptiveness. Use open-ended questions like, "Have you ever thought about something you'd really like to do but haven't had the chance yet?" This can help you understand their mindset before diving into your aspirations. If you choose to share, frame your dream as a statement of intent rather than a plea for approval. For instance, instead of, "I'd love to go on a cruise," "What do you think?" Say, "I've decided to take a trip I've always dreamed of. It's something I'm really excited about." This approach communicates your confidence and makes it easier for them to support you without feeling obligated to agree or contribute. To navigate these conversations effectively, emotional intelligence is key. Pay attention to your child's verbal and nonverbal cues. Are they engaged, or do they seem distracted? Do they respond with curiosity or hesitation? Adapting your tone and timing can make your message more meaningful. If a topic feels too heavy, it might help to pause and revisit it later. Using phrases like, "I'd love to hear your thoughts on this," invites collaboration rather than confrontation. Ultimately, the balance lies in understanding the purpose behind what you share. Are you seeking connection, validation, or simply a chance to express yourself? Reflecting on this can guide your approach. When sharing lessons, focus on growth. When sharing dreams, emphasize your independence. And when in doubt, take a step back and ask yourself, will this strengthen our relationship? The greatest takeaway from this is the power of intentional communication. By carefully choosing what to share and how to frame it, you can maintain your independence while fostering deeper, more meaningful connections with your children. Here's a challenge. The next time you're tempted to share something personal, pause and consider your intent. How can you present it in a way that uplifts rather than overwhelms? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, every conversation is an opportunity to build trust and understanding. Have you ever felt the weight of a worry, unsure whether sharing it would lighten your load or place a burden on someone else? As parents, it's natural to want to confide in our children, especially as we age and face new uncertainties. But how do we ensure that our conversations strengthen bonds rather than strain them? The answer lies in preparation, perspective, and a thoughtful approach to communication. Let's start with a simple yet powerful tool: writing down your thoughts. Before diving into a difficult conversation, take time to clarify your concerns through journaling or outlining. Divide your thoughts into two categories: shareable and private. For example, under shareable, you might include general reflections like, "I've been thinking about how to plan for my future independence." Under private, you could place more sensitive or complex worries, such as fears about your long-term health or finances that might overwhelm your children. This exercise not only organizes your thoughts, but helps you approach the conversation with clarity and confidence. Imagine Lydia, a retired school principal. She had been carrying a mix of anxieties about aging, everything from her physical health to managing her home. She used journaling to sort through her concerns. In her private category, she wrote, "I'm worried about how I'll handle things if I can't live independently." In her shareable category, she included, "I'd like to discuss ideas for maintaining my home as I grow older." When she finally spoke with her son, her thoughts were clear and focused, making the conversation productive rather than overwhelming. Another important strategy is knowing when to seek professional help. Some concerns, such as significant health or financial anxieties, are better addressed with experts rather than family. A trusted financial advisor or counselor can provide guidance without the emotional complexities that come with involving loved ones. For instance, if you're worried about managing retirement savings, speaking with a financial planner can help you create a concrete plan while preserving your relationship with your children. This allows you to approach conversations with them from a place of confidence rather than uncertainty. Equally delicate is the art of offering advice to your children, especially when you see them making decisions you don't agree with. It's a natural instinct to guide and protect, but how you frame your input can make all the difference. Let's revisit Robert, the father of two adult daughters. His eldest, Sarah, left a secure job to start a small business. Robert, concerned about the risks, struggled to hide his doubts. "Are you sure this is the right choice?" he asked repeatedly. His intentions were good, but his words came across as critical. Sarah eventually told him, "I feel like you don't believe in me." After reflecting, Robert changed his approach. Instead of focusing on potential pitfalls, he shifted to supportive language. When Sarah mentioned her business plans, he responded, "I'm proud of you for taking this step. Starting something new is never easy, but I admire your determination." By reframing his words to emphasize encouragement rather than doubt, Robert helped Sarah feel supported without diminishing her confidence. One way to reframe advice is by using I statements. For example, instead of saying, "You should be more careful with your spending," try, "I've learned that setting aside a little extra each month can make a big difference." This approach feels less like criticism and more like sharing wisdom. Similarly, focus on solutions rather than problems. Instead of pointing out risks, ask questions that empower your child. Have you thought about how you'll handle unexpected challenges? I'd love to hear your plan. Reading your child's cues is also essential. Emotional intelligence plays a key role in navigating these conversations. Pay attention to their tone, body language, and responses. Are they engaged, or do they seem defensive? If you sense resistance, consider stepping back and revisiting the topic later. Phrases like, "I trust your judgment, but let me know if you like my input," can leave the door open without pushing them away. Ultimately, every conversation is an opportunity to build trust and connection. Whether it's sharing your own worries, seeking advice, or offering guidance, the key is to approach these moments with empathy and respect. When in doubt, ask yourself, am I sharing to strengthen our bond or to ease my own fears? That simple reflection can make all the difference. Here's the takeaway. Thoughtful communication starts with preparation. Before your next challenging conversation, take a moment to journal your thoughts and separate them into shareable and private categories. Reflect on whether your concerns are best addressed with a professional. And when offering advice, reframe your words to empower rather than discourage. By doing so, you'll foster deeper connections and create a space where love and understanding can thrive. Now, it's your turn. Have you faced similar situations in your relationships? How did you navigate them? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue to learn from one another. Every conversation is a step towards stronger, more meaningful connections. Elena's story beautifully illustrates one of the most vital lessons we've explored: balance. Her ability to express gratitude while firmly maintaining her independence shows how thoughtful communication can preserve both connection and autonomy. It's a delicate dance, but one that's entirely within reach for each of us. As we wrap up, let's revisit the key takeaways that can help you build stronger, more meaningful relationships with your children while honoring your own needs. Pause and reflect before sharing. Not every thought or worry needs to be spoken. Take time to write down your concerns and sort them into shareable and private categories. This simple step can transform emotional reactions into thoughtful conversations. Know when to seek professional help. Some challenges, like managing finances or addressing health issues, are better resolved with the guidance of a professional. This ensures your loved ones aren't overwhelmed, while giving you actionable solutions. Reframe advice as encouragement. Instead of pointing out risks or potential mistakes, offer support through I've statements and empowering questions. For example, replace "you should be more careful" with "I've found that planning ahead brings peace of mind. What do you think?" Choose connection over control. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect. Share important truths, like your plans for major life decisions or updates on your well-being, but balance openness with boundaries. For instance, let your children know, "I'm feeling great," and have a plan in place if anything changes. Elena's story reminds us that independence and connection aren't mutually exclusive. They're complementary. By setting boundaries and communicating with intention, you create space for your family to thrive while staying true to yourself. Here's your challenge. Take a moment to reflect on one area of your life where you can apply these principles. Is it a conversation about finances, sharing a dream you've been nurturing, or perhaps offering guidance in a way that uplifts rather than critiques? Share your intention in the comments below. What step will you take today to foster harmony and understanding? If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your journey toward deeper relationships and personal fulfillment deserves continued support, and we're here to provide just that. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who might need these insights. And stay tuned. Our next video will dive into even more ways to live with independence, joy, and purpose. Remember, the best is yet to come, and it starts with one thoughtful conversation at a time. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.